One does not merely just move into their car. It's a process, one that might take some time, from losing a job, maybe expenses getting too high, perhaps the rent is just getting astronomical and you just can't afford it any longer. I don't think anyone just wakes up that day and says, I'm going to move into my car. I think that's the right decision. Now, for some people, having a place to live, an apartment, condo, house, whatever, and I'm talking about renting these places, is probably very important. To me, I don't find that renting a place is that important, just on a personal basis. So when my living condition gets really bad or expensive, I think I'd rather just move out into my car, live alone, lower stress, and keep my car rather than just paying someone else's mortgage. I mean, every month I'm like, what did I get from this rent? I spend so much time working and away from the home that really I'm just using a home as a place to wash my clothes and make food. And usually I can eat healthier and be more active and just spend more time at the gym than in my house. So to me, I don't know, it just tended to make sense. Of course, I'd probably want to live in a house. I mean, it makes sense. Or maybe a motorhome or a trailer. Something better than a car. But the major stresses in my life have always been financially and not necessarily where or what I'm living in. As humans, I believe we have a good propensity to adapt to our living circumstances. I mean, for how many hundreds of thousands of years did we live off the land in tents, hunting our food? I can survive with like synthetic goose down, premium sleeping bags and quilts easily in any conditions. People do it on Everest, for God's sake. I can make it in a car that's insulated as well. The thing that I can't live with, and I've been there, is no money. When you don't have enough money to go to the grocery store or any place to get food, that's a real stressor. The most stress I've ever felt in my life was when I didn't have enough money to actually eat. And I would do anything to not have that level of stress. And Lord help you if you got kids along for the ride. I've still heard stories though, people sacrificing a lot, the community coming together, giving them an RV to live in. 2 adults, 3 kids, and a dog. And you know what? I tip my hat to them 100% of the time. And honestly, the only really scary thing about living in a car isn't necessarily the temperatures. You can overcome that. People are homeless in Canada all the way to Alaska, where it's, you know, in the negative 20s, probably even colder with a wind chill. I didn't want to think about how cold it probably gets, but a lot of people do it. So it's not weather, you know, partially probably, you know, the quality of sleep you can get, so that's tied with the car you have and the equipment that you have. But if you're not spending money on rent, I imagine you can save and get this stuff beforehand. Optimally, you get all this before you end up being actually homeless in your car. So you gotta prep for that while you're still in a house. The real danger is actually where you park at night and where you leave your car during the day. Crime, someone breaking into your car where you have all of your belongings, will absolutely ruin your ability to live. So parking where it's safe at night, during the day, no one's gonna break into your car, no broken windows, because once you lose a window or your car is stolen altogether with all your stuff, it's just going to be very difficult to come back from that type of occurrence situation. The first vehicle that I had when I moved in to a car, so a long time ago, it was a vehicle, it was a Toyota, basically like a 4Runner type, and the seats, the second row didn't go all the way flat, and so it sucked because my head would be flat, but then there'd be like a slight incline to my feet, and I couldn't sleep on my side or anything, and that was just pretty horrendous. And that's why I actually have the car I have, which the Q7, it's great because of one factor really, and that's overall length that I can sleep in, being 6'2", and then also the seats from third row through the second is absolutely deadpan flat. It's like being in the bed of a truck, you know, but I'm insulated from the environments outside. One nice thing too is, you know, no one suspects that I'm in there and people leave me alone. When I was in a lower end car, I think people kind of thought maybe because I'm parking in the same spot every night, which I do try to rotate some, but sometimes you just find a great spot that's safe and works for you, and so you just want to keep going back. But it can get hard when you're going there after 10 p.m. when no one's there, and then leaving at 5 a.m. to get out of there to be inconspicuous. You know, you're just crushing your sleep quality by limiting the duration, and then your work performance goes down, your mood goes down, depression can kick in. It's just a whole slew of things, you know, that you want to avoid, and is directly correlated with your sleep. The next part after having the vehicle, I think, is getting the crossbars on the roof and having a cargo box. And that way you can put a lot of your dirty laundry that you've accumulated, your sleeping system, basically everything that you want in that cargo box, and keeping it out of the car. And that way when you park it, there's no signs that you're actually living in the car. And when you get in every day, you don't feel like that you're actually homeless and you're living in your car, and you're not having to do any modifications to then make it more conducive to sleeping in it and living, etc. You know, if you do modifications, you're gonna destroy the value of it, and someone's gonna know, unless maybe you sell it to someone who lives in the vehicle. How's it going?
Hello.
This is a good mountain bike trail?
Yeah.
Just you guys?
And my mom.
Oh, nice.
Where are we going, boys?
You got the speed demons up there.
Where are we going? Where's this go? Does it loop around?
It just loops around the circle.
So I think
So you're gonna go around that ridge over there.
I think we went backwards. I think we were supposed to come this way.
I don't think it matters.
Climb up this way and do the descent
Yeah.
over there.
We're already going this way, you might as well continue.
Boys, do you want to climb back up and descend where we came up, or do this?
I think that would be fun over there. It's kind of twisty.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really it's smooth, rolly.
Okay.
It's fun.
Alright. Whatever you want to do. Back up, they say.
where was I? Yeah, so you're not physically modifying the car and thus destroying its value. And like if a police or whoever looks in your car in the parking lot while you're at work or out, they're not going to see all your belongings. And number one, like, give you a citation for leaving your car, or break into it and take all of your stuff. Now, something kind of off topic is about money, and you're really doing this to save money, I imagine. And the one thing that I found is you can blow a ton of money if you're not careful. So everything just adds up, from going out for coffees, doing laundry, going out to eat. It can blow through whatever money you're actually saving by living in your vehicle and car camping. So you want to go to the grocery stores and get like things that are not really even cooked, just raw whole foods, which is healthier anyways, but stuff you can take on the go, and things that are pre-made, like planned, like at Sprouts, where they have pre-cooked salmon, they have meatloaf, sweet potatoes, all kinds of stuff, and it's relatively cheap. And if you can get these types of meals and food items, you're paying a premium over what you would get at home. But, you know, is it a couple dollars or two? Going out to eat, say, McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, Baja Express, you name it, you're definitely going to pay more of a premium. And you're not going to be getting anything nutritious. It's all going to be dead food. And thus you're going to be spiking insulin, messing with your hormones, which is then going to mess with your mental mindset. And you just might go off the deep end like I did. And, you know, when I didn't have enough money and like I totally crashed out. Anything you can do to not have a major crash out and get majorly depressed and think about ending it all, playing game over, that's the number one goal. This type of life, I think, can be very beautiful. It can be amazing, adventurous, but you have to take care of the basics. Your Maslow's hierarchy of needs has to be really spot on in order to mentally handle it, let alone flourish and love your life again or continue to do so. And honestly, I don't see myself actually ever going back into a home. I think there's more improvements to make with my current system, for sure. There's definitely a better way to make money than doing it on rideshare. But the lower amounts of stress about not having to worry about a $1,500 plus rent or mortgage payment is very freeing. I'm not tied down to any certain location at the moment, so I can be on the road. The amount of money that I need to earn is much less. And if I wasn't in California, my car insurance would probably be a quarter of what it is now. The food would be a lot cheaper. The gas wouldn't be over $5. So I'm doing this inexpensively, but in the most expensive place probably in the country, let alone the entire world. Of course, I hope and pray that you're not forced into this type of lifestyle at any point in your existence on this planet. But if you choose to do so, that's just what I would recommend. I'm sure that if you can afford housing right now and you choose to sell or just move out, then you can do it much better because you'll have the funding to get a better vehicle. I know personally I'll probably never be able to afford a home, and so instead of pumping money into rent, at least for the next year, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna try and work, save money, and, you know, put it in the savings, maybe put the residuals into a business that I can think of. Being your own boss is the future. You know, if you can build it up cheaply, run it for years, and then sell it, you know, cash out, and then go to Thailand, or whatever Asian country you want to move to, or stay in America if you make enough. But living this whole paycheck to paycheck, I don't believe it's viable for a lot of people. You can't do that forever. You have to be able to put money into savings, something for your future. And you can't do it paycheck to paycheck and then survive past your 65, 70s. It's just going to be so hard, and more stress and anxiety. And that's probably what the whole system wants, is you broken, defeated. They want you sick and unwell enough to challenge the system. So pumped up on pharmaceuticals, living your paycheck to paycheck, where you're scraping by and the CEO of your company is making literally 10,000 times the amount of money that you make. When the CEOs are making more money than you can make in 2,000 years, we're in an unsustainable system, and sadly, we do have to take the bullet for it and make sacrifices. And it doesn't have to be forever. This is like short term. If you gotta go to your car, just remember there's always gonna be houses, condos, apartments out there for you when you decide to come back. Nothing's forever. It's all just temporary. It's only permanent if you decide to end it. And that's never the answer. Which, you know, I've definitely had ideation and thoughts, and it would be easier. But then again, like, I'm leaving a lot of friends and family, people who would definitely miss me, and I'm causing more pain and suffering that way than like just dealing with it on my own. And I know this is all temporary. So if you're thinking about ideation, just realize that's a permanent solution to a temporary predicament.